All right, folks, Dan Bidondi, TruthRadioShow.com. It is now September 24th of 2018. That's midnight, so it's the 24th. We're just waiting for a couple people to log on, and I want to talk about this ongoing problem here in the United States of America, and it's just getting worse. And yeah, it's probably dying out a little bit in the news, but it's getting a lot worse. So waiting for some people to get on here. And my buddy Ron, so give me 1 second here. And I'm just waiting for a couple of people to log on, trying to tag some people. And I want to talk about this major problem here in the United States of America. And so as we see all over the news and the media, we got big problems. Catholic priests molesting children all over the place. It's not just a couple of places. Hundreds of Catholic priests are coming out molesting children. And here's the thing, okay? A lot of people are not aware of this, okay? There's a thing called Vatican international law. Every country in the United, well, not every country, most countries in this world that have Catholic churches are all under the authority of the Vatican international law, except for the United States of America. Under Vatican international law, they are not allowed to prosecute or jail any Catholic priest or anybody in the Catholic Church that commits these sexual crimes. What they do is the only thing they can do is expedite them out of the country. So what do? Most of them come here in the United States of America. And you got Pope Francis playing all innocent. Pope Francis knew damn well this has been going on. Pope Benedict has known this. Pope John Paul II's known all this. And they do nothing about it. Instead of firing these people, say, all right, you're not a Catholic priest no more. Oh, just go to the United States, they'll take you. And back in 2010, over 300 of these scumbags were shipped here from Ireland, convicted, molested popes here to the United States of America in Boston, Massachusetts, the Boston Archdiocese. And then they would distribute all 300 of them all throughout the United States to serve in churches. Catholic priests that were molesting children. And that's just one incident. I mean, it's been all over the media now that they come here from everywhere. And where they go into churches all over the United States of America. And why isn't our government doing anything about this? And yes, I'm a Trump supporter, but Trump should be honest, like white on rice. The presidential administration should be honest. Obama did nothing about it. In fact, he wanted the United States to be under Vatican international law. But thank God our Supreme Court said no. It was ruled 3-2 to no. That was back in 2010. Hey, what's up, Ron? And so I'm going to play this here. This is St. Louis Archbishop. I didn't know the sex with children was a crime. And it's from sources from politics. So I'm going to play this audio quick.
Archbishop, you knew it was a crime for an adult to engage in sex with a kid.
I'm not sure whether I knew it was a crime or not. I understand the answer.
When did you first discern it was a crime for an adult to engage in sex with a kid?
I don't know.
When did you first discern there was a crime for a priest to engage in sex with a kid who he had under his control?
I don't remember that yet.
So what the reporter should have asked too, which he didn't, the reporter should have asked, all right, if you didn't know it was a crime, you should have known as a priest, you should know the Bible definitely does not condone sodomy, and especially with a child. You know what I mean? And the Bible condemns anybody who does anything bad to children. So, the ignorance ain't going to save these people from going to hell. But yet, they get widely defended by the left, and it's amazing how the left is coming out defending these people. And they're defending child pedophilia. And I'm not saying everybody that's a liberal, no. I'm talking about the far left and progressives. They come out and defend people like this and say it's their right to do that. They were born that way. No, they weren't. And it's not their right to do that. But the Catholic priests, I mean, if you look all over the news, don't take my word for it. This is all recent news. 227,000 results of Catholic priest child molestation. 227,000 results of recent news. Allegations, sex abuse. I mean, it just goes on from every source. Any source, Al Jazeera, CNN, New York Times, ABC, BBC, USA Today. I mean, it just goes on and on. Fortune.com, Fox News. So whatever you want to call fake news, whatever news you want to trust, every media reports on this. So there's no biasm here because this is all open all over the world right now that this is going on, but yet governments are doing jack crap about it. NPR News is reporting about this too. Huffington Post, NBC News. I mean, it just goes on. 6 ABC News. Yeah, it just goes on and on. Time Magazine. Yeah, that just keeps going on and on and on. The news, 227,000 news pieces on child molestation with the Catholic priests. Now, I want to note to people too, do not at all, please, by all means, do not take this out on God. Okay, this is not what Christians do, and the Catholic Church is not Christian. Yes, they are in the same category as Christians, but no, during the Inquisition, it was a Catholic Church that were killing Christians and Jews for possessing Bibles and not converting to Catholicism. It wasn't Christians killing people, it was Catholics killing Christians. So get that fact straight, that's history. And I'm not condemning anybody who's a Catholic. If you believe in Jesus Christ in your heart as your Savior, God bless you. But I'm not, I'm telling people, get out of the Catholic Church. There's other faiths out there who are a lot better. Now, I'm not saying the Christian churches are better. Yes, there's people that like the same way in the Christian churches too. You just got to choose your church carefully. And right there, CNN, abuse allegations have been leveled at the Catholic Church for decades. This is CNN. So you can't call me biased because everybody knows I can't stand CNN. But right there, this is every news source you'll find this. This has been going on for decades, and nobody's doing jack crap about it. Why is this here in the United States? Convicted child molesting priests, hundreds of them, since 2010, getting shipped over here to the United States of America, and nobody does nothing about it. And I mean, it just goes on and on. Again, all the news, I mean, people just suffering from the hands of the Catholic Church. Choir boys, and the other thing too I want to put out too, if you're in a church, right, the church gives these crosses out, big chain crosses to kids, the kids who serve as altar boys and all that. When they give a certain boy one of these crosses, that's a signal to the other, to the bishops and whatnot, that kid's ready for their impurity to be removed. So if you know what I mean, that's what that means. Yeah, you're right, Robin. They're trying to normalize this. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And that's why it's starting to fade out. I mean, this should be the number one thing in the news right now. The number one thing, but it's not. Yeah, sure, it's tons of media, but you'll never see this on the front page most of the time. You'll see something stupid. Them bashing Trump, yeah, that's on the front page. But yeah, when it comes to something important like this, and yeah, Trump should be all over this too. I'm not playing favoritism for Trump because he should be on this too. And he is going after pedophilia groups. That's a fact. So hopefully he puts a stop to this. But right there, you could say, I mean, they put crosses on children. Okay, there's certain children who were picked. They give them crosses to wear at services so they know they're ready for the next step, if you know what I mean. And this is my friend's website. It's withoneaccord.org ministries. It's a former Illuminati member, William Schnoblin. He reveals all this stuff in his website. He was a former Illuminati. He was a Catholic priest as well, so he knows damn well what he's talking about. He's got all the certificates to prove it. He belonged to the ancient rite Memphis Mizoram of the Freemason group. A lot of Masons don't even know this order exists. It goes up to the 99th degree. Far more than the 33rd. He's a former Wiccan and all that stuff. He's got all the certificates from the Church of Satan and everything else. This guy's the real deal. Former Illuminati, became a good friend of his over the years from interviewing him. Him and his wife, Mary, great people. And with OneAccord.org, they expose all this stuff. And another dear friend of mine who I became real close friends with, Doc Marquise. It's a God Thing Productions, 777.com. He's a fourth generation Illuminati member, former Illuminati member, I should say. And this guy here, he exposes all top level stuff as well from the Illuminati. And very good man. He's got a huge brain tumor right now, and he's expected to pass within the next year. So he's out of commission in the ministry, but his stuff is available, DVDs and books on It's a God Thing Productions, 777.com. He exposes all the dark stuff in the Catholic Church too. And William Schnoblin, it's with OneAccord.org. He's been a Catholic priest, so he knows exactly what is going on, and he exposes the stuff from the inside. From sodomy to the satanic worship that goes on right in the Catholic Church. I mean, and also this woman here, if you get this book, Behold the White Horse by Cisco Wheeler. Good friend of mine. She's about 83 years old now. She's been very ill as of late. She became a good friend of mine. She used to be in the Mothers of Darkness, which is a women's sect of the Illuminati. She worked with Fritz Springmeier to create many books, revealing mind control, MK Ultra, and all that. And she exposes the inside from the Catholic Church, all the dark stuff that goes on in the Vatican. Very interesting stuff. But speaking of the Vatican, I want to point out people. This is the Vatican, okay? And if anybody out there with any spiritual mind or vision, if you honestly think this is a holy place, and you honestly think this is a holy place, this is ordained by God, okay, you need to put your spiritual glasses on and take those blinders off, because God says to see things as He does. And if you honestly believe that this is a holy place of God, you really need some work, because this is the total opposite. This is probably the most evilest place on the entire planet. You don't get no more evil than this place here. Okay, and this is a giant astrological clock. Okay, it's very occultism. There's occultism symbolism throughout the entire Vatican. This here is an old obelisk they pulled out from the sands of Egypt, from the ancient city of On, that's mentioned in the book of Genesis. This was erected, this very one here was erected by Semiramis to resurrect Nimrod, known as Osiris and Horus, Osiris and Isis. Horus was the sun, which is they call Tammuz. This is a giant Babylonian church. And before, I want to get into little quick facts too. People say, well, Peter was the first pope. Jesus said he's the rock of the church. When Jesus mentioned the church, he didn't mean this. Okay, the church is not the church of Jesus Christ. This is the whore of Babylon, folks. This is exactly, these are not even angels enough, and these are pagan gods and goddesses. Okay, this is the whore of Babylon. Okay, this is the false end times church that the Bible warned us about. That's why pedophilia is normal in the Catholic Church, because it's part of their satanic and pagan rituals. High-level pagans, not regular pagans. And it's part of their rituals, okay? They do this. This is a normal thing that they do since the place existed. And before the Catholic Church exists was the Church of Rome, which is a pagan church. Constantine formed the Catholic Church and called it Universalism. Okay, and Universalism, he could merge paganism and what he thought to be Christianity, which was wrong. And that's why Christmas and Easter have nothing at all to do with Jesus Christ. Christmas and Easter and all that is holidays for Nimrod and his son Tammuz, which is known as Osiris and Horus. That's what the holidays are for. And they venerate Mary more than anything. They venerate Mary, and it's not actually Mary here. It's actually Semiramis, known as Isis. And that's exactly who they venerate. It's nothing to do with Mary, Jesus, or God. Okay, it's a highly pagan, satanic place. This is a huge, this guy here is a false prophet, the Pope, Pope Francis. And if you think this guy is a holy man, Jesus says, right in the book of Matthew, do not call any man upon the earth your father. Do not confess your sins to man, but to God alone. But yet, you got a confession. But yet, people call this man Holy Father and their priest father. God says, do not do that. Jesus states that vividly in the book of Matthew. That's why the Catholic Church avoids the book of Matthew, most of it like the plague, because it contradicts the catechism. So, folks, these people do not represent God. They don't represent Christianity. They do not represent good. And I know this right here, they turn a lot of good people away from church, a lot of good people away from the Bible and from believing in God, because they think everybody in the faith is like this. These people do not represent God. And this guy right here is a blasphemous. He carries, all the popes always carry this sick, burnt, distorted cross of Jesus. It's a mockery of Jesus, it literally is. This hat he wears is, they call it the hat, the mithra, which is the hat of Dagon. This is explained in the Bible too, how they would, the priests would wear hats represent Dagon, the fish god, the Greek fish god. This is very satanic. And people adorn this as actually a holy thing. And the Eucharist too, it's disgusting. The Eucharist, they actually believe their creation, Jesus Christ is inside that wafer. That's why you can't touch it. The priest puts it in your mouth, okay? They actually believe that Jesus is inside that wafer, and they constantly crucify Jesus on the cross over and over and over again during the rituals. And I could get into this all day and night, and there's a lot of deep, dark stuff that goes on. But the ultimate goal is the Catholic Church is created, Pope John Paul II started it. And this is fulfilling prophecy. Pope Benedict really didn't do nothing with it. That's why they had him resign. And Pope Francis is beyond anything converting all, this is called the ecumenical movement. Ecumenicalism. Okay? They have every religion in the world, even Muslims, all and Christians and everybody else alike, all at the Vatican once a year to say we all serve the same God. The Pope, even Kenneth Copeland and all these other people all have been there and stated that we all go to heaven. Everybody. The people who don't believe in Jesus, don't know Jesus, they're going to go to heaven. They openly state this, folks. You can go look at the videos for yourself. These so-called Christian leaders, these so-called Muslim leaders and everything else, they openly state with the Pope that there's many ways to heaven. And the Bible says narrow is the way to heaven. Only through Jesus. Jesus says, only through me that you are saved. And only through me that you could come to the Father. And these people speak blasphemy, as Jesus warned us in his prophecies, that many will come in my name and deceive many. They all come in the name of Jesus Christ. And they all deceive many. Millions and millions of people that flood to see these people. They'll flood, any one of these people who come to a stadium near you, they will pack the stadium with thousands of people. And they're going to deceive many. And you got the Islamic leaders, the Buddhist, the Hindu leaders, all in this whole entire coexist garbage, okay? Okay, this is the false peace. Jesus said, there's a difference between the peace I can give you and what the world could offer you. This is the false peace that the world's offering you, folks. This is satanic to the core. This is what the Catholic Church is doing. The Pope is leading this. He's the false prophet in the end times. And he's going to be the one to adorn whoever to be, the Antichrist, to be as God. And every one of these leaders here, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and all alike, are all going to address this one man as God. When the Pope declares whoever this man to be, he will be the Antichrist, but they're going to adorn him as God. But they're setting up the entire ecumenical system. Now, the United Nations has officially adopted this system as a one-world religion. They said this is a great thing, and people from all over. And here's the other thing, too. Even atheists adorn the Pope. No Pope in history has ever been adorned by all these groups. Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, even atheists, even the LGBT, all love this guy. He's done stuff that no Pope has ever done before. He's fulfilling the prophecy of the end times false prophet. The false prophet is the religious leader that addresses the whole world that the Antichrist is God. He's the one who declares whoever this Antichrist to be God. But this man right here is the false prophet of the end times, folks. And if it's not him, it's I don't know who it could be, because he's exactly fulfilling biblical prophecy as the Bible describes. Especially when he travels around with Christian and Muslim leaders. They all get along. They all coexist. Okay, people say, "Oh, it's a good thing." No, it's really not, because they're deceiving all their followers. Look at that. You know, I mean, like LGBT stuff. I'm not against people gay, but you know, you can't condone this in the Church of God. It's wrong. Okay, I don't care what you have to say about it, and I don't judge anybody who's gay. God bless you, but you know what I mean? You can't do this in the Church of God. You know what I mean? It's your right. If you want to get to marry in civil union with the state, absolutely, it's your right to do so, but you should never get married unless it's a holy matrimony, one man and one woman, in the Church of God. That's what a holy matrimony is. But seeing right here, churches together, I mean, this whole ecumenical system is evil. Okay, it's disgusting. They all say everybody's going to heaven. Even the Temple of Set, which is a satanic organization, they say they're going to heaven. You got these clowns up here that lead thousands into stadiums to say the Pope is doing such a great thing. You know what I mean? This guy is loved and adorned by the entire world. You know what I mean? People that would never in the world come to the churches, again, even atheists love this guy. Sounds hard to believe, but it's all true. And all these churches, the 700 Club, all these mega churches and all that, all over TV, Kenneth Copeland, and they're all adorning this one man. I mean, there's this wonderful man who's unifying the world to a one-world religion. This is evil, folks. And if people pack stadiums like that are not men of God at all. All they do is take your money, and they don't even speak from the Word of God most of the time. They give you BS testimonies and everything else. They use psychological scientific methods to drain your emotions and take your money. And Jesus warned us about all this stuff. He said this would happen. Many will come in my name, deceive many, and take heed that no man deceive you. Many will come in my name, and they're going to be wolves in sheep's clothing. And you're looking at them right there. The whole ecumenical system. And yes, it's going to sound like a good thing. They're going to present this to the world. But this is why pedophilia is normal in the church, in the Catholic Church. The popes have gone on record to say it's not a big deal. They've gone on record to say this has been going on for thousands of years. And it has. And it's not of God. This is satanic stuff, folks. The highest levels of Satanism, Luciferianism, they have sex with children because they believe it provides them with demonic season powers because it robs the innocence of children, especially with that blood. And there was a man named Aleister Crowley. In one of his books alone, he was a top-level Freemason. He was an Illuminati kingpin. He stated that 1 year alone he killed and had sex with over 150 male boys in 1 year because they believe it provides spiritual enlightenment, these season powers and all that sick demonic stuff, folks. That's why this is going on within this system now. And everything, these people are just pure demonic. And again, Jesus says, the world's got to offer peace. And this is here, the world peace. All religions could get along. All religions unite under one banner. All religions say we serve the same God. Jesus warned us about this. That this is a satanic, disgusting, vile organization. That is the end times prophecy, folks, right there. That the whole world's got to unite under one banner to present this fake peace. And Jesus says there's a difference between the peace they could give you and the peace I could offer you. And only through Jesus that you could go to heaven. Only through Jesus that you could go to the Father. But these people say there is many ways to the Father, which is wrong. You know what I mean? You're going to have to brass facts here. That only through Jesus Christ that you can enter the kingdom of heaven. That's it. I don't care how good you are. You can save 1 million people in the fire and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter what you do, all the charity you do. And that's why these people do a lot of charity to present to the world that they're good people. And most of them are, but they foolishly believe that this Pope is such a great man, and this man's going to lead people into the pits of hell, exactly where that's going. And this is why this whole child sex abuse, this is huge in the Catholic Church. And, it's so barbaric. 227,000 results of Catholic priest child molestation cases. It just gets... And here's the thing. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've been on the radio for a little over 11 years. Since day one, I've been reporting to people about this. Especially when I broke the news, too, when they shipped over, I think it was about 300 plus Catholic priests from Ireland to the United States here in 2010. I broke this, okay? It was a little piece of article that nobody even touched. I broke this, okay, right on the AM station here in Providence, Rhode Island. I broke this, and I told people this is going to become the new norm. Child molestation, people are going to stand up for child molestation. And sure enough, you have top levels. Now, again, and not regular people who belong to the LGBT, the people who run the LGBT are even people in like Salon.com and other far-left liberal organizations and news media saying, and doctors all stating that this is normal and child molesters have a right too. That's what they're saying. And I told people they're going to use the same route the gays did to get gay marriage legal and everything. Back in 2009, I reported this, and gay marriage became legal, and it was on my birthday at that. So that's crazy. That's how I remember it. And so they're going to go down the same route to get child molestation illegal, to say they were born that way. They got doctors sticking up from politicians, too. In California, you could marry a 10-year-old just to soothe the Muslims, because Islamic ain't no different either. Islam... They throw gays off roofs, absolutely. Islamic people throw gays off roofs and punish them by death for being gay. But however, it's okay for them to have sex with children. It's okay for them to they call it thigh-in, rub their genitals in a baby's crotch to get off, or have sex with a goat. This is real stuff. You read the Quran and all that for yourself, you'll see what I'm talking about. And the Catholic Church, the Vatican, is the ones who helped create Islam. They're the ones who funded it and everything else because they needed allies against the Jewish people, because they wanted to eradicate Jews off the face of the planet. Now, if you ever go into an Italian family's house, I grew up in an Italian family, and most Italian people, what they do, effing Jews, because they're brainwashed by these people. The Catholic Church sought out to remove the Judeo roots out of Christianity. That's why here in America, we were called Judeo-Christians, not Christians, Judeo-Christians. This is acknowledged by the Founding Fathers. And we had the Judeo-Christian faith, not the Christian faith, the Judeo-Christian faith. Modern-day churches, since the influence of the Vatican, have stripped the Judeo roots out of Jesus Christ. They demonize, the top levels of the Jews, the fake Jews, the Zionists, are evil people, absolutely. But the real Jews, because the Bible, Revelation chapter 2 and 3, explain the difference between real and fake Jews. And the fake Jews, the Zionists, run the organizations like this. They run everything. And this Pope here, he's a Jesuit Catholic priest. Jesuit Pope, I'm sorry. He's under the Jesuit Pope. He was a Jesuit bishop, a cardinal, and now he's the white Pope. And these people are very evil. And basically, he's united the Jesuit and the Roman Catholic Church back together again. And this is all biblical prophecy, folks. And when Pope Benedict resigned, they had the cathedral struck by lightning twice in a row, and the chance of that happening is slim to none. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on in the Catholic Church, and the symbolism is disgusting in these places. And ultimate symbolism, this represents Nimrod's golden penis, and this is Isis's pregnant belly with Horus. And this is exactly the symbolism in the Catholic Church. The Vatican is a very evil, disgusting place. This is the home of Satan. If you want to know the gateway to hell, folks, that's it right there. You don't get no more evil than this place here. This is where this is the pinnacle of evil on this planet. Right there in that place, that disgusting, vile pit of hell right there, where thousands of people gather to hear the Pope speak, the false prophet, and dare to call him Holy Father. And these people molest children, they kill children for rituals. I mean, the sick, disgusting, dark stuff that goes on in the Vatican here, in the Catholic churches. Convents in the 80s were being closed down, and they found underground catacombs full of dead baby remains from the nuns having babies and being sacrificed in altars to Satan. This is real stuff, folks. And they use the sacrificial blood in the batches of the wafers they give for the communion, and then some of the wine. This stuff goes so far deep and disgusting, it's not even funny, man. And most of us who receive communion in these churches more than likely have ingested the blood of a newborn infant. And this is vile and disgusting stuff. If you ever go to the Vatican, if you ever take a trip out there, just look around for yourself. I mean, it's evil and dark. I mean, it's all pagan gods and goddesses, all Masonic Illuminati symbolism all throughout the entire thing. The whole setup is a damn satanic thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is an astrological clock. This is Nimrod's golden penis. It's an actual obelisk that was built by the ancient Egyptians to resurrect Osiris. They dragged it from the sands of On, the city of the sun, the ancient city of the sun. And this is the pinnacle of evil, folks. I don't want to get into too many details because I'll probably get kicked off Facebook. I'm probably going to get flagged as it is. So I just want to get this information out there because this is real stuff. And again, those people out there, don't at all, please. Okay, because these psychopaths, these disgusting, vile bastards, okay, they dare to call themselves men of God, that are touching our children, molesting our children and all that. Don't take it out on God or the churches because of these sick individual people. And there's good churches out there, folks. You're just going to find them. Very hard to find these days, but if not, just turn to the Bible, seek wisdom and prayer first, and turn to the Bible, read it for yourself. And God will reveal to you what you can't understand. It takes some time, but, it's worth it. You can learn the Bible a lot better on home Bible studies than you could ever do in the church anyway. And the church that Jesus talked about was not the Catholic Church. Peter wasn't the rock of the Catholic Church. He was the rock of the church. The church is not a building. It's not an establishment. It's not a religion. And sure in hell isn't the Catholic Church. It's you. Anybody who believes in God and Jesus Christ as the Savior through his blood, that you are saved and go to the Father. You are the church, not the buildings or establishments or any of these things. Jesus warned us about religions. He was a rebel against all these religions. And the Catholic Church didn't exist until 300 years, almost 300 years after Peter died. It was started by Constantine. Okay, he hijacked the Christian religion because they lost control of being a dominant religion. The Church of Rome was a pagan church, and it still is today. And this is exactly why all this stuff is going on in the sky. Unbelievable. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and get this stuff out here, because we need to encourage people to look to God for help, and look to God for knowledge. Look in the Bible, folks, but these people, do not let them deceive you. And this is Dan Bidondi for TruthRadioShow.com.
Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com.